It burns. But I feel
Does anybody say anything to you at this time? Colette, this is all going to pass in a few minutes. It's all going to be feeling better in just a few minutes. Is this a long procedure or a short procedure? Or can you get a sense?
pretty long.
When you look around the room while this is going on, what's the dominant color that you see when you look around? Is it dark in there? Or?
Medium now. Lights have gone down.
What's the color of the walls that you see?
Gray, kind of gray. Gray, kind of just gray. There's no color really. There's not color. It's the absence of color to me.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reds. There's no colors. Like I know colors.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a black and white movie.
Mm.
An illuminated black and white movie.
Now you're laying there and they're still doing they're busy doing their
I
stuff.
fucking believe this.
Can you kind of see them finishing up?
Yeah. Like a silver cylinder. I don't know. Just tube cylinder. Probably 3 inches wide. By it's about that big.
Is the cylinder portable? In other words, are they holding it or is it a...
They're holding.
And what do they do with the cylinder?
They're in like drawers. And on the walls, it's like they're like little drawers that pull out, and there's babies, like little somethings in these drawers that pull out,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm in a lab or something.
Okay. How can you see this from your position?
Because I'm sitting up.
So let me back you up just a few seconds then.
I can see on the wall. I'm sitting up, and I can see. I could see drawers or compartments. And each compartment, is basically like an incubator or something.
Mm-hmm. So you're sitting up on, are your feet dangling off the side, or are you up on your elbows? Or?
Yeah.
They allow you to get up on your elbows?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They're helping me. There's somebody behind me pushing. They're pushing, making me push.
Uh-huh.
But
When you get up on your elbows like that, do you happen to see any other tables? I know that you didn't when you walked.
No, that's counter type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They're not. I don't know. It gets so confused.
Mm-hmm.
I just. I just don't want to be there.
Well, this is coming to an end very quickly.
I just don't know. I just get confused. I think I see something and I think I'm crazy. I just think I'm fucking crazy.
No.
I just, this is real. I gotta be real.
Well, let me talk about this a little bit.
You know what? I think I see things and then I don't know. I don't know.
What do you mean?
I don't know. It's like I see things but then I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like the changes sometimes. It changes. It's like.
Well, let me just say this, Colette, that most people describe their ability to perceive and their consciousness is slightly altered. And it's very difficult sometimes to tell exactly what's happening. Furthermore, all of this information is stored in your mind in an area that is not normally accessible just to remembering. And therefore, it comes out in a little bit of an odd way. And you have to remember now that this is just your very first time here. And remember I said sometimes things are ambiguous and difficult to tell what's going on. So let's just go with the flow and not try to worry about this too much right now, okay?
I'm just angry. I'm just really mad.
Good. They don't allow you to be too mad when you're there. Now, Colette, they kind of sit you up and you can see all these drawers and things around there. When they sit you up, are you sitting cross-legged? Are you sitting with your knees up, or do they?
I'm being swung around now.
Mm-hmm.
My knees have been up. Somebody helps me. They're holding me up. It's basically okay. Let her go. I just get that feeling like, get her out of here now. Like, I'm swung around on the table. I'm being walked or something.
Mm-hmm. How are you feeling when you stand up?
Doubled up, kind of. Like, but not bad. I don't feel bad.
Okay.
I don't feel bad. I don't hurt. I feel weak, kind of. I don't hurt, though. I don't feel bad. I can't say I feel bad. I just... I don't feel bad.
They walk you out, is that what happens? Or?
There's another room or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I see the girls in there.
And what are they doing?
They're not moving.
Are they sitting, standing?
Sitting.
What are they sitting on?
Oh, just not a chair, not a couch. It comes from the wall.
Do they have their clothes on?
Yeah.
What about your clothes?
I had put them on.
Do they put them on for you, or do they just let you put them on?
And I put them on.
Okay. Then you go into this other room, I guess. There's your friends, Shirley and... Do they make eye contact with you? Do they look at you?
I don't know. I just don't want to see it. I feel okay, but I don't feel okay. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what I see. It doesn't make sense.
Well, they're sitting there. And you walk in. And what happens next?
I'm tired.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just tired.
Right now, this very instant, you mean? Or at the time?
I'm tired now. I need to get some more.
Okay, let me bring you out of that. Why don't you just lay down? You know, what I'm going to do is count from 5 to 1. And with each count that I do, you'll feel better and more alert, relaxed. Let's talk about this. 5, I want you to start coming out of this. I want you to start kind of bubbling up to the surface, feeling better. 4, I want you to start relaxing a little bit more, and yet at the same time feeling alert. Feeling relieved that even though this might have been a little bit traumatic, that you remembered it and got it out. 3, coming up to the surface even more. 2, and 1. How you doing, Colette?
Oh, I don't know. I feel okay. I mean, I'm mad. I'm mad. You know, those pricks. I feel invaded.
Right.
You know, fuck them. It's like, I don't think they should do that.
You're absolutely right.
You know?
Pat, let me have a little bit of time alone for that, if that's okay with you.
I'm really, you know, I don't feel I'm crazy. I mean, I feel like something happened, but I'm kind of hard to understand it. I guess
It's
it
okay.
just doesn't seem really like it should be real or something.
Listen, this
I mean,
was
you
a
know-
little bit of a traumatic one. You don't mind if I just sort of hug you a little bit?
Oh no.
This was not
Did this really happen? Does these things
Well-
happen?
The best that I can do is just to tell you that you've described things to me that other people have described as well. And there are situations which sometimes are more routine, sometimes are not, but sometimes they do have this quality to it. And remember, I sort of told you on the phone that sometimes there are situations that I sort of hinted at that come up like this. And you really never know what's going to happen until it happens. I'm sort of sorry to put you through this now.
Oh, I'd rather do it than not. I mean, I want to find out what's going on. Something's going on.
But that's okay. The fact that you're having the reaction that you're having now means that you were not allowed to have that reaction at the time. And the reaction that you're having is appropriate. It's absolutely appropriate to the situation. And I would prefer that you have it now and not have it kept up, locked up inside of you this whole time.
I pee really bad.
Okay. I'm available every day. And if you want, this is something that you and Pat would have to work out. We can do, now this is if you want. The way I look at it, you're here for a limited amount of time. And suddenly you've encountered this strange phenomenon. Something that's somewhat traumatic, unusual to say the least. So, what we can do, if you're willing, is have as many sessions as you want. I'll just leave it open on every day. So that if you want, we could have 2 sessions. And then what we would be doing is sort of compressing this situation into a short amount of time. But my feeling is I would rather do that and have you get used to this and have you deal with this rather than having one session and running back to North Carolina.
I know. I mean, I'm smarter than that. You know?
Well, but some people say, no, I don't want it till I can handle. But in my own
I
experience,
couldn't walk away at this point. I mean, there's something has been popped in. I've got to get to a comfortable place before I go back. I'm not at a comfortable place.
No, I would say right this minute at 12:35, you're not.
Before I could, say, yeah, I've had really weird dreams. I've had dreams being picked up in cars and residential areas, and I mean, it's always been and I'm really clairvoyant. So I kept thinking, oh, I'm clairvoyant because, whatever, but I'm having mental telepathy with these aliens.
Right.
I mean, this has been going on for years and years and years. And
Yeah, but see, that is the only means of communication that has ever been described. If this were internally generated, let's just say you were inventing this, Colette, you were just thinking it up in your brain, there's some diseased part that's generating it, whatever. Then what we would get from people who say this is we would get a spectrum of communication. Most of it would be through the mouth, oral, through the ears, sound waves, get interpreted. But we never get that, not ever. We only get a feeling that people have communication in their minds. Some people say, I can discern sentences, and most say they can't. That it's just an impression they get, an impression.
well, those dreams, I've had so many dreams. I mean, this has been going on for so long. I've had really weird dreams.
The problem here is that it is unfortunate, but most people, when they describe this, generally describe it from childhood, as you have grade 7, 8, which we talked about earlier and all that. Yeah. And we can't be absolutely positive at all times, but it seems to begin in childhood and then just sort of continue on up. Now, this is what I work for, Colette. This is my goal in life, my mission. My mission.
We all change our roles.
Is to deal with people as many times as possible until they get sick of it, until they get bored with it, until they get tired of it, and they say, okay, I know it's happening, I know this, I know everything about it, now I'm going to get on with my life and forget it. That is, when they don't want to come around anymore, I have won a victory. I have succeeded. Unfortunately, I cannot give physical control. But I can give a modicum of intellectual and emotional control that you never quite had before. But this does come with experience, and with a little bit of learning and a little bit of training.
I need understanding. I need to know that I'm okay, that, you know, because I know I'm intelligent.
Absolutely, and you seem to be, you didn't tell me anything that I consider to be off the wall or crazy or weird, or want me to prove it to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's a form. Now, I have had approximately 230 sessions with people over the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Each session lasts about 4 hours from the time people come in to the time they leave, and sometimes 5, 6, and sometimes 2 or 3. I have worked with people who have come to me as many as 30 times, 24, 23 times, occasionally 25 times.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I have worked with people who only come once. What I have done is I'm writing this book, and I have been able to structure the abduction phenomenon into 9 categories of events that happen, and that's all. Now, if this were internally generated, there'd be 9,000 categories. I mean, they get on Monopoly sets, that you'd be watching television. I mean, there'd be all sorts of things that would happen if people would just think it up, you know. But in fact, that's not what happens. Now, what I've done is I have a form that I've just recently started to use. And this just sort of, I tick off the experiences that people have. Okay, at night in a car with a group. Car taken swimming effect. Room, medium, 1 table. The exam, primarily gynecological, although they did your jaw, neck, pressing on abdomen. Gynecological business. Okay, stirrups you weren't sure about. Move embryo. Okay.
I wasn't sure about that because my rational mind was fighting that, but I was in some form of footholds or something.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll just write down stirrups if that's what you remember. But that's very, very common, particularly in this situation. Very common.
See, a lot of this I was still fighting in my rational mind going, no.
This is the first time, Colette, you came through this like a champ, really. Some people just, it's so difficult. Which is why I gave you my warning on the phone, remember? It's not a normal situation.
I think something's going on, you know, but how can you talk to your friends about this? How can you talk to your mom about it, you know, without anybody saying, well, you've done too many drugs, or, you know, you're disturbed, or, you know, you've obviously have delusions.
You know, it's a shame that you can't come to our get-together on Friday night, because this is a problem that everybody wrestles with, and it's a problem that we deal with in the session, because it's tough to talk about it.
You know, you talk about it, and the thing is that, you know, some of your friends that you do talk about it, you know, you say, well, I think I have contact with extraterrestrials. They have this vision that all these extraterrestrials are coming to save the world, and that it's an elated experience, and that they want to be taken up and fly in their spaceship and see the universe, and they want to go, and it's not that way, you know. I tell them the only emotion I ever experience is a horror. You know, like the other night, that was just horror. That was, you know, and then my emotions were stripped away.
Yeah, well, that's very, very common.
I mean, I feel a little different. I feel kind of like, well, what is it about me that they want?
Nothing.
You know?
The question that you're asking right now, Colette, is what is the selection factor? And the answer is, we don't know. There's nothing overt. We can't tell why somebody selected another one is. There's no difference. It's the good, the bad, the ugly. It's the rich, the poor. It's the smart, the dumb. It's the black, the white, Jewish, Gentile. It doesn't matter. It seems to be a cross-section of the society.
There's black also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can look at myself and be very objective.
About Barney Hill.
You know? And I can see myself as an individual who, I think I'm above average person.
Right, oh, absolutely.
You know?
You don't impress me as being average or below average at all.
I have above average talents. Yeah. I'm very intelligent. I'm very sensitive. I'm clairvoyant. I've got a lot of gifts, you know, and I know that, and my physical stature's good and stuff, but
one of the things that is...
But something's wrong.
Is, yeah, but you see, you're one of those people who can take a step back and say, here is my life, and here is this event that's happening to me, and something is wrong. How do I come to terms with it? What other people do is they will sort of migrate into showing the plainism, and they, like this woman who I was telling you about,
I won't do that.
and they cover themselves with it, and it's okay for them, but I think in the long run it's not satisfactory. And most of them find in the long run that it isn't satisfactory for them either. And I think that basically you're a person who can take the step back and try to gain perspective. And the fact that you've driven 900 miles from North Carolina to attempt to deal with this.
This was really important to me.
And it is important.
You know, because I deserve that
You
for
do.
me, you know.
What you're doing is you're taking control. You are in the process of taking control. You're saying to yourself, I may not be able to control what happens at night every night, blah, 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 but by golly,
I want to come to some understanding.
you're going to take what the defense allows.
And you know, another thing that concerns me is my child. I'm a mother, you know. I want to be a good person. I've got
Absolutely.
responsibilities. I've had a lot of shit in my life to deal with, and I've overcome it, and I keep trying, and I persevere, and by God, maybe it's guilt because I've done some bad things in my life, and I want to do good now, or I've seen some mistakes, and but there's a big part of me, I just want to be a good person and do what's right at all times.
And that's what you're
From
doing
the
now.
heart, and learn that I'm okay, that I am good, because I've had low self-esteem, but I shouldn't
That's not
have
good.
because I'm okay. I'm
Right.
really a good person, but something's wrong.
Colette, what this is going to allow you to do now, we have only a short amount of time, which is unfortunate, but what this allows everybody to do is unique. It allows you to go back for the first time with new information about your life and go back and reassess past events in your life. This is something that's just not going to happen ever again. It never happens to people. How many times do you ever get a situation where suddenly you find out important events that occurred in your life that you didn't know about? It's an opportunity that you seize, that you take and you make the best of. This is new information suddenly coming in now, and you can go back and you can say to yourself, aha, now I know why I did X, now I know why I did Y, now I know why I did Z, now I know why I felt this way, now I know why I acted that way. And you will find that all the events of your life that you attempted to deal with, you have dealt with in an appropriate manner, given the amount of information that you have.
Is that why, that I try to fight for clarity all the time.
Right. Why not? Of course, being clear is good no matter what, or in any situation.
Yeah, but, the outside situations, the external circumstances in my life are very beautiful. I'm a very fortunate individual. But
Good, that's wonderful.
so I should be
Some
happy,
people have encountered this situation and they are just never able to get it together. It happens starting in childhood and it affects them in ways that we'll talk about later. There's all sorts of other effects that this can have on people's lives that are can be for some people quite profound. We'll discuss this later, but not right now. You have these events happening to you. You know something is going on in the back of your mind. You know something is happening. People don't normally have strange, inexplicable events happen to them. I'm a rationalist. I think if somebody says that something strange and inexplicable happened to me, well, something happened. What is it? It's not just the mysterious realm or some other higher form of consciousness. We're talking about events that most people share in conflict. But you don't know that really. And the question is, how do you cope with this? Some people say, God, it must be crazy, I'm going to go to psychologist after psychologist after psychologist saying, what is wrong with me, doc? I can't deal with what's going on. And the doctor says, well, it's got to be internally generated. It must be something that's happening in your mind. And then it tries to deal with the situation from that level and can't. other people have such a strong reaction to this, and they don't have enough support systems in their life that they can't quite even get to the point of seeking help, because it's so unusual and so different and so outside of the realm of experience that there is no available place for them to naturally go to. Other people go directly into evangelical and charismatic Christian groups. And they get a demonic explanation. We know what your problem is. Possessed by devils. That is the standard answer.
Yeah, and I avoid those people too. I got this fear. I live in this town. Billy Graham lives up the street from me, man.
Is that right?
Yeah, big time Baptist area.
Billy Graham is
Montreat. I live right on Montreat Road in Black Mountain, and Montreat Gate is about 1/8 of a mile up the road, and there are all these Christians that are rich Christians, and righteous and messed up.
Well, for some people who've had abduction experiences, the demonic possession explanation, it seems to fit. I mean, it seems to fit, you know what I mean?
I must have been
21
or 22.
Okay. And so they pray. And for some of them, they get the sense of a little bit of relief. For most, however, it doesn't fit, doesn't apply. They try and try and try, and God knows, Pat, I've had I've had a bunch of people who have been in Christian groups of that sort, looking for relief, searching for relief.
Mm-hmm.
I read philosophical books, or like psychology type books.
Mm-hmm. We have people who, I have a young woman who you don't know, who we had our get-together, who is a nurse. She's, for some reason or another, extremely interested in theoretical physics. She doesn't know anything about the numbers, math, or anything like that, but she just knows that there's something about theoretical physics that attracts her. I've had two people recently come to me who had an overriding interest in magnetics.
Is that electromagnetic fields?
So I guess so.
I'm getting heavy into that. I mean, part of my my naturopathies is I'm really getting into the subliminal things out there in the world that people don't know really is out there, but I'm getting obsessed with finding out all these little weird things that affect people.
Well, when you go on your travels for that, you'll find that you'll be stumbling across a lot of people who've had these experiences, probably. This is just not uncommon. It's something that we find, and the scope of it is, it's amazing. It's enormous. I have been keeping track of, I hand out to my students at Temple a questionnaire. I've handed out about 700 questionnaires now. It's getting up there. And this is a questionnaire which is calculated to tell me whether they've had unusual experiences in their life, which might be construed as abduction experiences. They don't know what they're answering. They haven't the slightest idea what these questions are and why they're answering it or anything like that. And the numbers that I have of 700 people is about 10%. Now, if you project 10% of the population as a whole, and this is a random sampling I'm getting at Temple, that's an awful lot. There's 25 million people. Let's just say I'm wrong by a factor of 90%. Let's just say I'm really way off.
So it's 2.5.
Right, or 1%. Right, 2.5 million at 1%, which is a lot. It's a lot.
You feel they all have had abduction possibilities?
Well, you see, ethically,
Or
I
something
can't follow up on these on the ones. What I do is I take the questionnaire and I say, no, question mark, maybe, or PA, possible abductee. Now, I can't single that student out that I put PA to and say, hey, you, come here.
Oh,
I can't do that.
They don't have names.
Honestly, I cannot do that. No, they have names, but I can't take them and tell them that something might have happened to
No,
them.
that's ethically
It's
not right.
unethical, right?
If they've got questions, I can see them
Right.
possibly answering some for them, but to just, that's invasion on them.
I can't do that. So I never do it. Now, they never hear about this again. They don't hear about anything. They don't even know what it's for. But every once in a while, students come up to me and they say that something has happened to them. And on 1, 2, 3, or 4 occasions, I've worked with them after they're students of mine. I can't do anything while they are students of mine, because that also is unethical. And every time I've been right in my analysis, I haven't been wrong yet.
So you really think this is going on with me?
10% of the population.
What do you think? What's your take on it?
Something's going on. I would not think I'd be here.
I don't think so. If this was just a vague thing of a couple of dreams that you had years ago, you wouldn't have stuffed yourself into the camper and driven for 12 hours to find out what's going on. You wouldn't be ruminating on this. You wouldn't be talking about it. This has become one, not the only, but one of a sort of a little focus of yours that you've had now.
It
Now, there's a lot of
interferes with
things.
my life because I get preoccupied with it. I
Right.
get concerned with whether I'm stable or not. But I seem stable, but then I
That's
get
not
these
a
extreme mood swings
Yeah.
where I'm not functioning, you know. I should function better than I'm
Right.
functioning.
Let's see if we can deal with that now. Just a couple of times, days is not much. But let's make a stab at that. Couldn't hurt anyway.
You know, like the other night, after Monday night, after I had that visitation
Right.
of whatever it was,
Okay.
you know.
Yeah.
The next night, I had rehearsal, and I told Lori, hey God, they came last night, and I've really felt them, you know, and I
Right.
felt their hands and this and that.
Yeah.
We were talking, and then we got on another subject, and she goes, Clay, have a really nice night. And then I go, oh, I've got to go home and go to bed now.
Yeah.
And see, nighttime, I
I'm going to give
can't
you a rule of
sleep.
thumb. I'm going to give you a rule of thumb. When you're sleeping at night, or maybe I told you this already,
Really, all the cracks and cracks
Right,
you hear, they're
okay.
not them.
that is virtually a guarantee that is not them, that it is not them, and that's what's important.
Well, it's just, you know, it's okay, it's bedtime, and I have to force myself to go in my room and
Right.
go to sleep, and I put the pillow here, and I put the pillow there, and let my nose hang out, and my heart races, and I think, and I think, and I think, and I think, and I fight to get to sleep, and then, you know, so that was, Tuesday night, and then Wednesday night I'm at my friend's house, and I was just uneasy. I'm just coming down to do this. I was just going, God, this is unbelievable that I'm even doing this. You know,
Absolutely.
this is just like really strange. This is what they make movies about, you know.
Everybody feels that way.
Yeah.
Everybody feels that
I was at my friend's house, and he's been following this with me, you know, and been very supportive, and say, hey,
I'm glad to hear
just come
that.
sleep with me if you want, you know. But see, then the responsible mother kicked in. I go, no, I can't do that because I have to wake up to be there for my child, to take him to school. He
You've
says,
got responsibility,
you know,
sure.
he says, what? Just bring his clothes with you. So in the morning when you wake up, dress him and take him to school.
Okay.
So I'm fighting, you know, what's responsible, but then I'm fighting where I'm going to feel safe or harbored. You know, like I want to feel calm.
Right.
So I ended up going, okay, Colette, you know, you are responsible, but you have to allow yourself to feel safe and comforted once in a while.
Problem
so I
is that
slept
if-
over there.
If you're not living there, then, you know, you can't do it every night, I assume.
Right, but see, that was, I felt safe. See,
Okay.
I felt like, they ain't gonna get me here. I feel
Well-
that way in my van.
Good.
Feel that way over my home.
Yeah, right. It's
Yeah.
like I was thinking last night, they ain't gonna get me here. It's too small. I'm fixing my bed. I'm crawling in. I go, they ain't gonna get me here. You know. But then, you know, you think you're crazy because you think these thoughts. It's like you're talking to yourself about something out there that you don't know has really even happened.
Right.
And you get this thing of maybe you're schizophrenic.
But
you
this is
know.
the way you got to think about it also. You have to think you need your sleep and you got to get your sleep. And if you don't get sleep, the chances are nothing's going to happen anyway. And if you don't get sleep, you get more depressed. You feel worse. You don't
God.
feel like you're on top of the situation. So you want to get sleep. You've got to get sleep.
I
I
know.
don't want you to know. Let me say right off that sleep disturbance problems are by far, on another level of existence, the most common things that happen to people psychologically as a result of this. Number one, numero uno, sleep disturbance problems. People routinely sleep with the lights on, with the television on, with the radio on. I've had people just lay awake all night long waiting for the daytime so they can get to sleep because they feel better in the daytime.
I sleep, it's funny because noontime or daytime I can lay down and take a nap and feel okay. It's at night I get scared to go to bed.
Right. The chances of anything happening, there's always a chance, that's true, but it's infrequent. And if you chart it according to menstruation and ovulation, then you can say, well, we're coming into 4 nights of ovulation now and there's an increased opportunity, so I'll be scared these nights. But all the rest of the nights, you're not scared.
Yeah.
At least you can get it down to that, as opposed to being scared every single night. In other words, as I said to you on the phone, you gotta take what the defense allows. And if the defense is, if you find a pattern here, you grab onto the material into the days that you don't think anything is gonna happen and get some sleep. Now, there are other things to do, and we'll talk about that a little later, but there are other things to do. We are not helpless in this situation.
I was thinking of getting my tubes tied.
Tubal ligation,
Does that help? But then something comes and says, no, don't get your tubes tied because they want your eggs.
the question is, do they get eggs without tubal ligation? And the answer is, we're not sure. I have one woman who's had a tubal ligation in 1982 and she never had another experience. And then again, I have many women who have had, not many, I've had several women who had hysterectomies and their ovaries removed. And it has not stopped the phenomenon, has not stopped it. They just do other things. They don't take an egg, but they still, there's a lot of other things that happen.
I have to ask you this. Have you, last month, I was even...
My way, don't get a tubal ligation unless you want it for your own life.
right.
Don't make any moves
No, it-
related to them.
I don't want any more children.
That's okay. That's a decision that you make, but who knows, you might meet a guy, get married, the guy doesn't have kids or something, wants to have kids. You never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen. Keep your options open, but don't make moves directly related to them of a physiological nature, because
No,
when
it
they
would
come
be
to
for
fruition.
me, you
Right.
know, because I'm just afraid of being a single mom out there with 2 kids.
Well,
I'm
you
just,
let the guy use protection, or you use the sponge or something like that. Don't go for it. The tubal
I
ligation
guess
is
I'm
an
gonna have to
extreme.
start having sex.